Hello guys, today we are going to take a look in the tier list and we are going to see how the latest balance patch affects the tier list and what cards are going up or down. So I hope you like this video and let's start with it. Okay guys, so we are going to do our tier list today with all the latest changes that we have. I was missing one patch, so we are going to do two patch this time, right? And one clarification that I want to do about my tier list and every feedback I will give in the channel is that I won't be giving the news. I will give my feedback based on my experience, so it can be a good feedback for everyone instead of just me guessing what is happening or what is not. So, okay, let's start. Let's start with the Nemo ears. They no longer give you energy. They heal 5 more, but they don't give you energy and they vanish. They cost 0, right? So it's a 0 card vanish. Now, we have those ears here in A plus because it only heals, but it still vanish. We could compare that, I think, with Antenna or Nerdy, right? But it doesn't benefit much. So but the heal is a good effect, so I think that they are still a good ears, and 40 heal is a pretty good heal, right? So we can move it from A plus to A. It's still a good card advantage, so you are thinning your deck, so we have to take that into account. Okay, so we finished with Nemo, and let's continue with Koi. Koi is still a 2 cost card, and that is good, but it deals 15 less damage, and I think that affects. And for me, Koi is going to be A minus. I will explain why. I really think that moving Koi from 110 damage to 90 damage is a lot of a change, right? So it's a pretty strong nerf because it alone hits for 105, and if you have one aqua, it hits for 120, right? What it used to have, right? So 120 is 16 damage for one energy. It can go up to 135, but it's not so important now. And if you are having train of the three of the same kind of axis, three aquas, you are sacrificing a bit of flexibility, right? So it doesn't feel as powerful. Even I think, yeah, even I think it's B plus. It's not even A, right? Because it was too nerf, and the damage it's good, but it's not that good. So yeah, B plus. It's B plus because it's a 2 cost card, and one assumption we have in this channel is that 2 cost cards are pretty important to have in your team, right? Because if you have courses or you have an axis disabled, there are better chances that you don't lose your whole turn, right? So let's continue with the next one. World Gecko. World Gecko no longer stacks storms, but no longer stacks. Right? This is one card that I classified from the start. We don't know it needed stacks, right? Because it was really SS. This is one that I failed to address because I didn't saw its full potential, right? So I really think that World Gecko is still uh, an A plus, right? Not because it's nervous, but because I failed to address that it is stacked. Now that it doesn't stack, it should be here, and it's a pretty good card. I I, I even think that it's S minus, not even A plus. Yeah, it's S minus. It's a pretty good card, not A plus. I'm not giving justice to this card, leaving it in A minus. So let's continue. Let's continue. We have Topaz. Topaz now is 5 damage, and we had a previous pass that I didn't analyze, so we even have it reduced, right? So to 150 cap bonus damage, so it has been double nerfed. It was SS because it didn't have a cap. After the cap, it was SS minus, but after we nerf it further, it feels like an S plus, no longer what it used to be, right? So let's continue with Tiny Turtle. Now you can stun anything, right? And it was A minus. I think I was thinking that this card was better than it was because it was pretty bad. It was actually like B minus. But I think that targeting is pretty good, and because the game is aiming towards a point where not everything is attack, it's more possible that people start using shield. So I will move this guy from A minus to A, right? Because it's going to get a bit better. Next, we can move to Tiny Fan. Tiny Fan used to draw. Now you don't draw. So Tiny Fan only gives you damage boost, right? So I think Tiny Fan is pretty similar to Nemo ears. So we can move Tiny Fan from S minus to, I think it's better to A plus, right? Because I think it's better to have the damage boost than to heal. So I think this damage boost is pretty good. Next we have Blue Moon and Hero and Pirate, and okay. They used to be S plus, but now they are going to be where Goldfish was, right? So let's look for Goldfish. I think that Goldfish is A. Right? So we have to move all those 3 cards down. So let's go. Blue Moon. We are going to move Hero and Beirut. Okay, we move these cards down. And they modified Goldfish and Hair, right? Let's move them too. So let's look for Goldfish. Okay, it has 5 more damage, so it's good. And it has draw 1 card. No, 10 more damage. So it's even better because this is from another patch. And draw 1 card if this is the only card in your hand. So this card seems that is bad because you say, oh, if I use it last, I won't have energy, right? But that's not the truth about the card. And there is something that we have to take into account is that if we are not in an aggro team, we have some kind of mixed team, it's pretty possible that we use our attack cards and we still have the possibility to draw, right? So it's not all around car anymore, right? But it's still a pretty good in many teams, right? Because Blue Moon, Beetroot, and Hero are better because they are indeed all around. I think that Goldfish and Hair go down, but not so down. Next, we have Larva. Larva was a pretty amazing card with the charm. Now, not anymore because it had vanished. So it's not sustainable. So I think that Larva is should be here in A2 because you can gain that one energy, but it's more conditional now. You cannot work around it. And it's better to have your 4 damage post for sure than only one conditional energy, right? So we have that. Gora was nerfed, 20 less damage. I had that card on S tier. I think that it goes down to S minus. And I think that World Gecko can go even up to S, right? Next, we have Potato Leaf, right? It's just a balance change that doesn't matter a lot, so we are good in this patch. So let's move to the next patch. And the next patch, we have a Square Teeth. Consume current chills and convert them into damage. Cap at 100. I think that consuming your chills is a lot of damage for zero, right? But you have to consume your chills. So generally speaking, I think that chill is usually more efficient than attack, right? But you have to use 2 cards in order to have the damage. So I think that the card has a hidden tax on playing it because you have to first get rid of your armor and you have to first also play some armor cards. So let's take a look. It used to be in the A tier, right? So we have to move it because it's not longer A, I think, right? The question is A minus? No, I think it's B plus. It's a good card, but unless you have a way to generate tons and tons of chill, given that you consume your chill and you still have chill left, I think that it's not that good. It's good because you could make amazing plays around it. For example, you can put armor on a beast and the beast enter rage and you can have a pretty big damage with zero, right? But you also have to draw, so you have to. It's possible to have it like working pretty good, but you have to do it in pretty specific teams. So I think that the B plus is a good spot for that card. So continue with the patch. Let's continue hot bot. You heal is not that important. And you gain chill is even less important. And shuffle 2 bars, right? So okay, shield is not so good. It's in a middle axis, for example. And we have that courses, yeah. We have the board. Unplayable, ethereal. At the end of the turn, I'll take 8 damage, right? So it's 8 times 2 is 16 damage plus 2, right? Hotbot used to be 8, right? But now it's only 16 damage, is even less, right? So I think that to be fair, it's now B. And swear that doesn't, it's even worse because it's confused, right? So, and they are too, it became an average card. It's not so good anymore. So, okay, let's continue. They put initial in Cerastes and Kingfisher, right? And I think that was a nerf, but I really didn't know how good Cerastes and this is one of the things that when you play, you can do errors, right? So Kingfisher was in B, right? But I was not making justice to the card because it 85 damage is pretty good actually. If you have a defensive active, you could actually you could put armor and reflect the damage and not take anything that turn, right? If you put a lot of armor, and that can surprise a lot the opponents, right? Because if you are trying to kill some Axie and you can force like them attacking your Axie and the other Axie is going to die because of the damage is taken from these two cards. So they should have been even better, but they are fine here, B plus, right? So okay, let's continue. Nutcracker, Little they are the same. I think they didn't change. The last one, this improved a lot. This improved a lot. It's more easier to have it as the last card, and it used to be B plus. I think that we can move that card to I minus, A minus, sorry. And okay, so let's continue with Lotus. Gain 50 chill, and heal 30 speed. Now they remove the healing, but you can remove curse, right? Because it became a tech card versus curses. I think it improved because there are not a lot of things that remove curses, right? So I think the Lotus is now A minus. Let's continue. We have Rosbat. This one card improved a lot because it puts a cleanser, and now the cleanser is pretty good. So the card is Rosbat, and now you can target any ally, right? So it's even better. We had Silence Whisper here because we can target anything, but I think that the cleanser of Rosebud is pretty amazing. It used to be C, pretty standard, but now that you can target it, come here. But now that you add a cleanser, it's no longer B plus because you can target, but you can put a cleanser. So I think it's an A card now. The cleanser is a pretty important stat, and if you have that into a plan, you can stack that in your plan, and you can avoid your plan to be uh, slept or disarmed, or you can avoid your plan to be stunned. And for those teams that have a plant in the back, I think it's a pretty good card right now. So let's continue with the next one. Where are you? Where are you, puppy? Where are you? Okay, guys, so it seems that I was missing Poppy on my tier list, so let's look at it. Poppy, now it was healing your team if initial remove one cost, and they remove the initial, right? So healing your team for 25 is okay. I think that removing the cost is what really makes it good. So I think that is a minus, like Lotus, right? Is a tech card, is a pretty good one tech card. Next we have Cloud. It became a multi-hit card, and we have Winghorn that it also became a multi-hit, and we have Hungry Bird that it became a multi-hit. So they are pretty similar. So I will put them in the same tier, and I think that being multi-hit in birds is pretty important. So it's improved, right? So let's look for them. B plus. And okay, it's the same for the others. So let's look for them. The other is Winghorn. And the last one is Hungry Bear. Kind of finding, okay, Hungry Bear. There are you. A minus. Next, we have TL Shell. It was 10. It was buffed to 15. So initially I put TL Shell pretty high. I think that card didn't deserve that because it was some kind like an exploit. And we had discount coupon before. So I think that teacher was pretty high because of discount coupon. I think that that was the reality. But now that discount coupon doesn't exist, you can play Till Shell like for 45, 60, or 75 if you draw or something. So I think that Till Shell is now B plus in its full potential, and I think it's good there. And it's not anymore where it used to be because discount coupon doesn't exist anymore. So continue with this. We have a story fighter and other things and channels that are not important for this tier list. So guys, yeah. Now that we finished with the balance patches that was missing for this tier list, I'm going to review this tier list based on my experience on the game. So I will review quickly the cards and will tell you which cards are going to continue or going other place in the tier list. Right. So Syslog, I think it should still be here. And these are the other axes. They have not changed, so I will not look at them. This is based on my experience, right? So there are things that are going to be better, others than not, right? I think that Anne is still pretty good, and Watering Can is still pretty good, and Timber too. I think that maybe this is amazing. Right, and yeah, Volgico should be here based on my experience. I think that Scarab is a tech card, right? And its damage is not so good. So we have test cards usually in A minus, but I think that removing courses is more situational than preventing healing. So I think that Scarab should be in A, right? So that's my experience. So Scarab based on my experience, is going down. On the experience of the game, I think it's okay. I think that Poppy is actually better, not is minus based on my experience, so good. I think that Confident is S minus based on my experience is better than it seems. And I think that Clamshell should be what it is. Based on the analysis that I did, I think it's okay there. I think that Irwin is a bit up, and now that we can take full potential, I think this card has not been discovered, but yeah, I think that A plus is too much for this card. And Gary's Worm is a 2-cost card, right? But I think it should be A minus because it's too hard to pull off without discount coupon anymore. So A minus. Okay, Perch. I think that I underestimated Perch, and it should be S minus. And I think that also I underestimated Roin, and it should be S. Gila, I'm not sure. I will keep it there. I'm not sure about it because I have not seen teams. So if I'm not ranking this correctly, please forgive me. I think that Ronin is okay where it is. Sleepless. I think that Sleepless is the only course that you cannot remove, but only one card is not so important. If you stack many Sleepless, it start to become hindering. So it could be better, but I don't think that it's that good. So I will have that there. I think that Sponge was overrated from me, so I will move Sponge to A minus. I think it was overrated because you need to do the two things with this card to be pretty good. You need the actually you are going to buff. No, yeah, A minus. Yeah, you need the exit that you are going to buff, and you need also to put that axe in danger. So it's not good, not that good, and to get those damage boosts is not so clean, right? So I think it's pretty risky actually. So next we have 8 cards. I think that 8 cards. Larva was down, right? Down. I think that in 8 cards I really think that clear should go up. So I think this card is better than I thought because you can discard things that really can annoy your deck, and with the proper manners you can also put discounted cards on your deck for so you use all your energy and keep your discounted cards. I learned that in the game, so Lucas is also like that. So they should go up a bit, right? Early Bird stayed the same. We have Kotaro. Kotaro is A. I think that it should be A minus. Given my experience with the game, I think that Little Branch, I underrated it. I think that is S minus. I think that I underrated as Little Branch is better than I thought initially. So yeah, Nutcracker is okay where it is. No notes are okay there. Pink Chick, A plus. Same thing, you discard too. Little Piece, I think that Vulnerable is such a good thing that I was not making justice to that. This card, A plus is better. I don't know if S minus, but I will leave it there and I will going to review that. Oh, Pigeon Post. Pigeon Post was one card that I was really underrated. because it's better. But you have to be that good. You have to play two cards. And the best part, I was considering this card for backdoor things, but it's not the case. Because if you play two pigeon posts to your opponent, you are denying so much value from your opponent that, and you have, if you have other courses, this card is going to be pretty pretty strong. It's not possible to remove this card, the course card of pigeon post with any run. So uh, the down run is not going to remove this. So take that into account because pigeon post was a card that I was underrating and it's now is I think it's really strong, right? So let's continue. I had potato leaf. I think it's okay there. Chitei is okay there. Small frill. I think it should go down. I think it should go down. It's not so good as I thought. Let's leave it here by now. Okay, Cattail is pretty good. And three spikes. I think three spikes is better than I thought initially, so it can be A plus. And yeah, these are the starter axes. I'm not going to consider these cards because they have not been moved in the patch, right? Except for the ones that we look, and I think they are fine where I classified them the first time. So let's continue. Antenna. Antenna is a good card. I think I was underrating it at first. I think that having 50 armor is not that good. So I think I'll stay there. Poki is better than I thought. With charms, it could be pretty good, right? So I bet that there are going always be chance for backdoor. So being able to attack one axis pretty good. The opponent can play around that, and I will leave this card here. So it went up from A minus to A plus. I don't know if it's S minus. I think that it could be actually, but I'm not sure. But there are whole teams that build around this card, so I will make justice to the card and put that card as minus because if you start to stack this card and it's possible even without runes, it can become pretty problematic. So yeah, its minus is a good place to be. I wasn't making justice to the card. The same with this sidebar. Is the only card that you can target with bleed and poison. It depends on the charms, but yeah, uh, it's better. It's better. It's better. It's A plus. Next we have one. I think Wake is a pretty good start. I think it's even better than I thought. So Wake is a pretty good start. We have one card, Babylonia. Because of the stats, this hits harder, and that's why it's not like that. So Babylonia is also going up because it also applies weak. We have Axie Keys. I think that I wasn't giving Axie Keys justice because it's a free rocket stamp on that card. So I think it's A plus, from B plus to A plus. In my experience, I think that Fear is even better than I thought. So I think that Fear should be A. Fear cards should be 8. And yeah, we have this week, right? And we have Bleed. Bleed is okay. Bleed is a strong status effect, actually, right? So yeah, it could be A minus. And yeah, same with Fear. I could move Fear cards to A. And yes, the same with football, it should be A minus. Catfish is okay. Magic Sack is okay. Jaguar, bleed, 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 bleed. I think that bleed, yeah, and bleed could go up. I think Hex is not that good, so we can keep that bleed here. We can put bleed here. I think that bleed cards are better than they seem. And it's for turns, right? So if the enemy plays, it's 90, and other two cards is actually 120 damage for only one card if the enemy plays four cards. Chances are that when the game ends, that's going to happen. Chances are is that the game starts, it's not going to happen. So we can average and have three, and three is 90, 105, so 105 damage. I Ronin can do 120 max. So I really think that bleed it should also be here. I was not making justice to bleed cards. Rancher. I think that Rancher is applying weight to the other team. I think that it should be A minus. We will take a look again on that. Silent Whisper, okay. Thornip, Zigzag, Persimmon, okay. And the ones we move, right. So next, B. We are almost ending. Hotbot, Twin Tail. I think Twin Tail. I wasn't making justice to Twin Tail either. Bot's Flight. I think that 80 is okay. 80 Snake Jar. I think I was overrating this card. I think it's yeah, it's pretty similar to Hermit actually. I don't know if I negate the next attack. The difference is that this one negates HP loss, right? So because of that, I will leave that in C, not in the other. Okay. Uh, Hatsune. I was not making justice to fear. Like I said. I moved too much. Let's go back. And Bonsai Lamb, okay. I think Lamb 85. Okay, it's good there. It's almost B plus, I think. Yeah, it could be B plus. Why not? Okay. I will leave Corley there. Croc, Bleed. I was not making justice to Bleed either. Dual Blade, Fragile. I think that Fragile is a bad stat. I will move that down too. So yeah, Little Owl B. I think that Little Owl card should be a bit higher. B is not making justice to those cards either. So yeah, they could be B plus. We'll keep an eye on these two. Maybe they can be better. If initial, deal 15 more damage, 85, okay. 85 is okay. Fragile, oh my god, Fragile should go down. And this is Snack, Wake. I think that Wake should come here too. But yeah, one thing is that Fear and Bleed are better than Wake. A bit better. So I think it's okay. Yeah, I think it's okay. Bleed and Fear are a bit better. Yeah, I'm just making sure that I'm not making a mistake. This one is there because it's 70. So We have to keep track of stats too. It's not only, oh, this week and I move. No, we have to keep track of stats too. So, Leapbug, I think I was not making justice to the car. It should be B plus too. Inkling is there. Fear, the same thing. Fear should be here. I was not making justice, so A minus. Okay, let's continue. Uh, this makes more damage. Fragile. Oh my god, this is so bad. Okay, 2 damage boost. Yeah, this is the pretty similar to Sponge. I think, nah, Sponge should go down. And I think this is 5 and this is only 2 and this should go to B minus 2, right? So, yeah. And Raven Jinx is okay there, right here. Skelly Spoon, I think this is actually a bit better. It's the same as Indian Star. Mary England, Pliers Pumpkin. I think that Pumpkin is a bit better too. Being able to draw is good. I will keep an eye and wait on feedback on the community too. So I could do something wrong, but I think I'm going the right direction on this. Mm, Shrimp is okay there too. I think maybe a bit better because it allows you to attack the last action have 70, right? Not 65, so it's a bit better. Mm, Peacemaker, weak. Weak. Yeah, weak should be here. Bleed should be here. I think I'm making a point here. Why bleed is better than weak. I could be missing a point about that, but I really think that Tadpole James, 20 more damage if initial swallow, 2 less bite, okay. Watermelon, Trump is okay there too. Jerk is okay there too, and yeah, the starter ones. So we have Buzz. This is one card I was really underrating. I think that I will look for a Sleepless and put it there. Actually, the area damage is better than I thought because of the birds summons that are really powerful. And sometimes the best way to counter those summons is an area, and the best this area is pretty good because it puts also a daze. So A plus is a pretty good spot for this card. See, yeah, I think it's okay. Why Grandma Van is even up? Because it deals more damage and it has innate, right? So take that into account because there are things that make a card better, right? Yeah, Trivia, that should be there. And it's an area, right? But it doesn't have any effect. And let's go. I really want to see these ones. Arco is okay, dude. Bamboo should be there. Spitter Spike, I think that the bleed effect and pure damage should not be underrated. I think because it's the only card that goes below chill should be here, right? So it's a pretty big change for a card that was in C, right? Puppy is okay there. Okay. Fear Van. Yeah, it's a 2 cost card. I was underrating this card. It's better than I thought. We have Perch here, right? So I think it should go below Perch. Why? Because it's not target. But why here? Because it belongs to the bear class that really focus on multi-hit. If we have a rowing with this, it's going to hit pretty hard. 1 versus 1 is better than Perch, but Perch is going to usually be better than Fearfan, right? It's not target, that's why it's not that good, but given that it's a bird class card, it's going to be there. I was underrating really. Another card that was really underrating was Chubby, right? And it's because of the charm and the area, right? It's an area card for beast that can go into the Fury mode. So I really think that because of the charm, it's really good but we are not taking charms into account for this early. So I will leave that card A minus and under review, because if it wasn't for bleed, this card wouldn't be so amazing. Hidden Razor charm, right? So let's leave that there. Pioneer, Feather Dragon, Leafy, okay? And yeah, Neo Hermit Believer, I think is a bit better. Not so good either. This card is pretty good in an axis, has Leader Branch, but it's because you start to stack faster for Fury mode, right? But yeah, I think I can move this a bit up, but it really depends. Kotaro Random, I don't like it. Kuko, I don't like it either. I think that Jam is better than I thought because it actually attacks. So it can attack summons and is 15 damage, right? Let's take a look real fast. Jam. Collection. Yeah. Yeah, 15 damage, so I can take summons out. It's better because of that. And yeah, they destroyed Hollow and Vivens. So this is all. This is all. I hope you really like this video because it takes a lot of work to do this tier list. I'm missing some starter card axes that have been spoiled, and I'm doing those cards in a next video. And if you have any questions, put those in the comments, and please like and subscribe, and see you in my next video, guys.